Hello everyone. In this video series, we have started with the post-Mendelian genetics or neo-Mendelian genetics, and we finished incomplete dominance, codominance and multiple alleles. So these are the three examples of intragenic type of gene interactions that produce ratio which deviate from Mendel's standard ratio. Okay. The well-known example of incomplete dominance is Mirabilis jalapa or 4 o'clock plant. Then codominance example is coat color in cattle, while the multiple alleles example is human blood group antigen. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about next type of gene interactions that come under the deviation section or post-Mendelian genetics section, which is pleiotropy. Okay. So first three type of gene interactions are intragenic type of gene interactions, and these two, that is pleiotropy and polygenic inheritance, is intergenic or non-allelic type of gene interactions. Now pleiotropy means the condition in which single gene control two or more than two phenotypes. Okay, so if we want to define pleiotropy or pleiotropism, we can say like the condition in which single gene control two or more than two phenotypes or characters. Okay, phenotypes or traits or characters. So we know that single gene or single factor generally control single character, but sometimes there is some examples of a gene which control more than two characters or trait at a time, and such genes are called as pleiotropic gene, and the phenomenon is called as pleiotropy or pleiotropism. Okay, so in this definition we have to remember that pleiotropy is the condition in which single gene control two or more than two phenotypes or traits or characters. Okay, and it is called as pleiotropy or pleiotropism. The F1 generation ratio in pleiotropy is 2:1. Okay, in case of standard Mendelian genetics, the F1 generation ratio is 3:1. If we cross tall pea plant with a dwarf pea plant, in that case, in first generation we will going to get 3 tall and 1 dwarf. But when it is pleiotropy, in that case the ratio become 2:1. Okay, and well-known example of pleiotropism or pleiotropy is sickle cell anemia. Okay, so now the sickle cell anemia is the condition or the disease which can be easily explained with the help of pleiotropism. This disease is occur due to presence of defective form of a gene, and the gene is HB. Okay, this gene is responsible for production of hemoglobin, which is the heme protein containing molecule, and this hemoglobin is responsible for transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood. Okay, this hemoglobin or HB molecule is generally present inside the red blood cell, and this hemoglobin is a complex protein which is produced by the HB gene. Now normal form of the HB gene is HBA, while the defective form is HBS. Okay, so single gene show two different type of natures. Okay, HBA is a normal copy of a gene, while HBS is defective or mutated gene. This HBS is responsible for sickle cell anemia. Okay, now on the basis of the genotype, there are three different types of persons we can find. Number one, if a person have HBA HBA type of a genotype. That means he or she receive normal HBA gene from one parent and same gene from another parent. In that case, the person will going to become normal. He or she will not going to develop any symptom of sickle cell anemia. But if the person receive HBA or normal copy of a gene from one parent and HBS, that is a defective form of a gene from another parent, in that case the person become carrier for sickle cell anemia. This type of HBA, HBS type genotype produce carrier phenotype. That means the person is normal at a normal condition, but in adverse condition or extreme condition like high altitude or trace or dehydration, where the carrier going to develop symptom of sickle cell anemia. Okay, so normally these carrier type of persons behave or do not show any symptoms of sickle cell anemia, but at a high altitude when climate contain less oxygen, in that case they start developing symptoms of sickle cell anemia. Okay, so carrier always going to have HBA, HBS type of a genotype. And last is if the person receive HBS or defective gene from one parent and same gene from another parent, then the genotype become HBS, HBS, and in that case the person develop fatal or serious sickle cell anemia. Okay, so HBS genotype is responsible for the actual disease, and the disease is literally fatal. The child cannot survive for longer duration due to the disease. Okay, now in this video we're going to talk about two important things. Number one, sickle cell anemia, and number two, how exactly this gene inherited from generation to generation. Okay, so the first point is sickle cell anemia. The disease is generally called as homozygous recessive disorder. Okay, that means this type of disorder is only developed when the gene is present in homozygous form. Recessive gene is present in homozygous form. Out of this HBA and HBS, HBA is a dominant gene while the HBS is a recessive type of a gene. And when the person have both the gene which is HBS type, that means when they are homozygous condition, that lead to development of sickle cell anemia. In this type of a disease, the RBC become sickle shape. Okay, so this is the first and most important symptoms. The normal shape of red blood cell in our blood is round and biconcave. They are disc shape. RBCs are disc shape and they are rounded structure with depression in the center. So they are biconcave rounded cells and they contain large amount of hemoglobin inside them. This is normal RBC, but in the disease condition, the shape of the RBC changed and it become half moon shaped, okay, or sickle shaped. So this is called sickle RBC. And this happened due to defective hemoglobin molecules. Okay, the main function of RBC is to transport of the gases in the blood, and this happened due to presence of hemoglobin inside the RBCs. RBCs are non-nucleated cell which contain large amount of hemoglobin, and each hemoglobin can bind to the 4 molecule of oxygen, so that RBC have ability to transport large amount of oxygen to and fro from the body. Okay, now when the person develops sickle cell anemia, the shape of the RBC changed from normal round biconcave to sickle cell or half moon shape. Now, why this happened? Why the shape of RBC changed? That is because of mutation in HB genes. Okay, this hemoglobin producing gene. Point mutation occur in the HB gene, and due to the point mutation, we know that due to the point mutation, a single base change is occur that ultimately lead to change in the codon, and due to change in the codon, the amino acid sequence will going to change in the final protein. Okay, now this hemoglobin molecule is made up of 4 different type of polypeptide chains. Okay, so hemoglobin is made up of 4 different chain, out of which first 2 are alpha polypeptide chain, while the last 2 are beta type of polypeptide chains. So total 4 polypeptide chain is present in the hemoglobin, 2 alpha chain and 2 beta chain. And if we draw the structure of the hemoglobin, here we can find, suppose this is the first alpha chain connected with the second alpha chain, and now at the bottom you can find 2 beta chains. So hemoglobins are generally present in quaternary structure form, which contain 2 alpha and 2 beta chain. Now the mutation occur in the gene HB gene, and due to which the beta chain will going to change. Okay, this beta chain contain long chain of the amino acids, and in that long chain of amino acid number 6 will going to change due to the mutation. Okay, for example, this is amino acid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So this is the beta chain. Okay, now each amino acid is connected to one another with peptide bond. Now the fifth number of amino acid is proline in the chain, and number 6 and number 7 amino acid is glutamic acid, GLU, glutamic acid or glutamate. And when the mutation occur, this glutamate is changed with valine. That means defective beta chain will not going to have glutamate at 6th position. Instead of glutamate, it will going to have valine amino acid. And due to the change in the 6th number of the amino acid, this beta chain structure will finally going to change, because initially the beta chain will going to be hydrophilic, but due to the replacement of glutamic acid with the valine, now the chain become hydrophobic, and due to which now this hemoglobin molecule cannot perform its function properly. Okay, the molecule is unable to bind to the oxygen with full intensity, and due to which the many different hemoglobin molecules come together, they form a group, and finally due to the hemoglobin joining, the shape of the RBC change from round to sickle. Okay, so this is the basic mechanism behind the sickle cell anemia. The disease occurred due to the point mutation in the hemoglobin molecule, mainly in the beta chain of the hemoglobin molecule. The 6th amino acid of the beta chain is replaced by valine, because initially it was glutamic acid, but now it is replaced by valine, and due to the replacement, hydrophilic beta chain become hydrophobic, and this 2 chain will going to change the entire structure of the hemoglobin, and due to change in the hemoglobin structure, ultimately RBC structure change from round to sickle, and such RBCs are unable to transfer sufficient amount of oxygen to different body parts, that lead to condition called sickle cell anemia. Okay, the condition is literally fatal when the genotype of the person is HBS. Okay, now in the last part of the video, we will going to see how the sickle cell anemia the inheritance pattern. Okay, if both the parents are carrier type, okay, and we know that carrier parents have HBA, HBS type of a genotype. So suppose male and female parent are carrier type with HBA, HBS type of a genotype, then the phenotype will be carrier, and they produce 2 different type of gamete. that is HBA and HBS. One gamete receive normal form of the gene while the other receive defective form of the gene during meiosis. Same case with the female, HBA and HBS. Okay, so both the partner going to produce two different type of gamete when both are carrier type of the partner. In case of normal parents, the child will be normal, while in case of carrier parents, they will produce two different type of gametes, and when the fusion occur, there is four possibilities. HBA of the male parent fused with HBA of a female parent, that produce HBA type of a genotype. Then another possibility is HBA from male parent fused with HBS of the female parent, that will produce HBA-HBS type of a genotype. Then HBS may fuse with HBA of a female, that will produce HBA dominant HBS recessive type of a genotype. And finally, HBS from male parent fused with HBS of the female parent, that will produce HBS type of genotype. So four different type of genotype produced in F1 generation. Okay, so this is the parent generation, and when we cross parent generation, the genotype of the parent generation, male and female, and phenotype of the parent generation, they will produce four type of gamete, HBA, HBS, HBA, HBS, and due to the fusion, four different types of genotypes is produced in F1 generation. Now HBA, HBA type of a genotype develop normal child. Okay, so this is normal child. Then HBA, HBS, HBA, HBS will going to develop carrier child, while last, that is HBS, HBS will going to develop sickle cell anemic child. Okay, so this is the anemic child. Now, so the ratio in F1 generation become 1:2, 2:1. But this anemic child do not survive due to the fatal anemia and dies. So due to the death of this child, the ratio become 2:1, 2 carrier and 1 normal. Okay, so I have written here the F1 ratio in pleiotropy is 2:1, because out of the 4 children, 1 will going to die due to fatal anemia. 25% probability is there that the child born to carrier parent may have anemic condition, okay, or may have genotype HBS, HBS type, so that instead of 1:2, 2:1, ratio remain 2:1, while in case of normal Mendelian genetics, it is 3:1 in F1 generation. And because of these issues, the arranged marriages that occur in 2 carriers must be discouraged, just to prevent the birth of children with anemic genotype. Okay, so this is all about the pleiotropy. It is also called as pleiotropism. In this case, single gene control 2 or more than 2 phenotype, and well-known example is sickle cell anemia, the disease which is developed due to the HBA or HBS type of a gene, which is a mutant form of HBA type of a gene. The point mutation occur, and because of that, the amino acid number 6 is replaced by uncommon amino acid, and due to which beta chain structure changes in the hemoglobin that ultimately produce sickle shape type of RBCs, and the inheritance pattern will going to give 2:1 ratio in F1 generation. Thank you.